Yo, what it do? It's Niko Kline on the Sit Down with Mark's podcast. You're listening to AJ, DB, and Primo.
Hey, yo.
If I can be serious for a minute.
Oh, yeah. Acknowledge me. What up, everybody? Extra special bonus episode today coming at you, number 109 of the Sit Down Mars podcast, man. Gather around, man. We got a fella on the pod today we're going to learn a lot about, man. I'm excited to talk to this guy for the first time. Met him a few times in person, but, due to the nature of what I got to do on a day of a wrestling show, hadn't got to talk to him too much, but we're going to get that behind us today, man. So let's welcome today. We're happy to have this guy on the pod, man. He is a Black and Brave graduate seen in SCW and other promotions, but he is a rising star in the independent Midwest professional wrestling scene. Everybody welcome Niko Kline to the pod here.
Hey, guys. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on.
So, Black and Brave graduate, man. What year did you graduate? And, throw out some names, man. Who was in the academy about the same time you were?
I graduated in August 2020. Okay. And the same people that were in my class that graduated with me that are still currently wrestling are Eric Esnight, which wrestles a lot on the SCW roster, and Malik Champion. Two very good talented people that are out here on the independents, and they're doing their thing, and some really good guys. I'm glad they were in my class and graduated with me.
Man, okay. You said August of 2020, so that was 2020 was a crazy year, obviously, for the whole world. So when did you start training, and how was training during all of everything that went on?
So I started training. It had been May of 2020. It was supposed to be the first week of May, but since COVID hit, they delayed the class by 3 weeks just because you could only have 10 to 12 people in certain areas, and classes tend to be with 16 people plus the coaches and other graduates. So they had to push it back a little bit, and then we finally started about the last week of May. And it was kind of crazy. At first, we all had to wear masks and everything, and that was kind of hard. And anytime you were in the gym, if you weren't inside the ring actually wrestling or practicing, that's the only time you didn't have to have a mask on. But if you were just in the gym itself, you had to have a mask on. So it was pretty good, though. We didn't really have any breakouts or anything, which was really cool. So we got through the class, and it went as smooth as it possibly could.
Yeah, I'd imagine wearing that mask while you're trying to do all that cardio would be pretty exhausting.
Yeah. During the exercises, you could take it off too, but I mean, it just made it hard. It was constantly you're taking it on, taking it off, taking it on, taking it off.
All right, Niko. So tell me, man, who did you see on TV that made you kind of want to be a wrestler, and then what made you did you pick Black and Brave geographically? Was it the closest training school to you?
So actually, it's kind of crazy. I'm from Davenport, Iowa. I was born and raised here. My whole family's here. So I got to see. Wild, yeah. Yeah, so I got to see my two coaches when they wrestled on the independents years ago. So seeing that back in the day was pretty cool. But what really brought me into WWE was the spinner belt that John Cena had. I don't know why, but as a kid that really caught my attention. At that time, I was only 7, 8 years old.
Right.
So that's what really drew me into wrestling, and then I was a big John Cena fan. And then obviously watching the independents here in town and locally all the way to Chicago and stuff. So yeah, just seeing that one day, I just knew I wanted to grow up and be a pro wrestler, and it's just cool that a school got to open up in Davenport and just happens to be ran by Seth Rollins, and it all just worked out.
Yeah, for sure. So how many spinner belts do you own?
As a kid, I had a lot of them, man. I can't say I own any anymore, but I definitely did have a lot.
Most definitely.
Did you like the US title also?
Yeah, I did the John Cena US title.
Yeah.
That was dope as well. Unfortunately, I could never find any toy replicas of it.
Right.
But yeah, it was definitely something cool. It was just flashy, it was just something different.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. So I guess it kind of leads me to, let's talk about your gimmick. If nobody's ever seen Niko Kline wrestle before, what is your gimmick? That you kind of portray. It kind of makes sense now. It's a little bit of a John Cena influenced one. So kind of explain that to anybody that's never seen you wrestle before.
Niko Kline is a crazy individual that doesn't really care what's going on, and he's going to try to be as goofy and as bold as possible. Man up to anybody. He's a little wannabe rapper that runs around with MFG and SCW and Partners in Rhyme. And
Okay.
he just loves to put his chains on, put his hat sideways, and do his thing as he will. So it's fun, man. It's a good little time.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So, and you've had a little bit of success in SCW. I've seen you slinging around a few titles, man. What all titles have you gotten there so far?
So far, I've actually only held one. It was and I still hold it now. It's the SCW Tag Team Championship. We are a 2-time SCW Tag Team Champion. Me and MFG, Partners in Rhyme. So now next on the scale would be the SCW Cup or the Iowa State Championship. So maybe that in the near future.
For sure. So SCW, I mean, obviously, it's a feeder promotion, if not the promotion of the Black and Brave Academy, basically. And so that's got to help out a lot, being an indie wrestler. And when you graduate there, I believe, right, you're allowed to go back and train pretty much like whenever you want, kind of.
Yeah. It works great for me because I live in Davenport, so I get to go to the school every single day. 3 months out of 3 months is how long the class is. So there's a 3-month class and then a month where there is no class. So the gym hours kind of change a little bit. But when the classes are going for the 3 months, it's from like 11 to 2 o'clock, 3 days a week. So you get to always be there for class, and then after class, get a good workout in. So it's a fun little place to be. You get the ring, you get a nice little area to work out. There's a TV, to watch film. So there's everything you need there.
Yeah. So you're a townie too, man. So is Seth like a fucking legend there in Davenport? Like does he ever pay for a meal in a restaurant? That kind of, you know what I mean?
I haven't really heard much. He kind of just keeps to himself. That's just kind of how he is as a person.
Sure.
Just does his own little thing. But I mean, he's definitely very known here in Davenport. He was definitely known at the high school that he graduated from. I actually graduated from the same high school that he graduated from here in Davenport.
Yeah.
But he is definitely he's a known person around here for sure. And I think it still helps him too because he still does live here in town. When he doesn't have nights with the WWE, he is here in town. So, I mean, he's always local, so that's most definitely cool as well.
That is cool. So, give me some funny stuff, man. Like while you were in school, you had a lot of experiences with Seth and Merrick. You tell me like your first day. Was you scared to death? Was you pretty relaxed? Give us something that was that you'll kind of always remember about being in wrestling school.
So in the beginning, on the very first day, you have to do like a conditioning test, and I won't get into in depth about it because you have to sign up for the class and take it and you experience it for yourself. But on that first day, on the first day they put you through the ringer real quick to see what all you can handle. And when I was going into it, I wasn't in the best of shape. Since I've started wrestling, I've lost about 50 pounds, and put on a nice amount of muscle. So going into it, I was kind of scared about the situation I was in, especially knowing they were all about CrossFit and just doing anything in the ring. I just knew it would be a little hard to do. So on that first day, we get in a situation where they're making you have to do some burpees. And I came to the point where I didn't think I could do any more burpees. But when you have Seth Rollins standing right over top of you, calling you by your name already on the first day, I better get my ass up and do some more burpees,
Yeah.
You gotta do the thing, you know. You gotta get to work. So so I knew from that point on that it was going to be a mission, and if I really loved pro wrestling, that it's something that I'm gonna have to stick with and just get through. And thank God that we never quit and just got through it, you know.
So,
but
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I saw that before you actually started training that you had blown your knee out.
Yeah.
So how did that affect your comeback as far as beginning training? Like, was it a mind fuck? And
okay,
also, like, did you have to change your wrestling style that you were gonna do?
Yeah, so that was totally pre anything I've ever done with wrestling. I actually signed up for Black and Brave like November of 2018, and then I tore my ACL January of 2019. Wow. And I was supposed to be in the September 2019 class for Black and Brave, but since I had to get surgery for an ACL and it takes about a year for that to heal properly, I had to get moved all the way back to the May of 2020 class. But the moment I tore my ACL, I thought the wrestling wasn't going to happen. You know, I was still very young, yes, but tearing your ACL, it's a very difficult process, and they don't tell you like what you're going to walk into after you have the surgery. Like, yeah, your knee's like messed up, but like it kind of messes up your whole leg. Like you have to retrain your whole leg how to walk properly and everything. And right after surgery, I didn't think I was going to be able to wrestle at all. I thought, because I already paid for the class, so I thought the money was gone for the class. I just thought it was all over. I just thought I messed up big time. And I was just playing a little pickup game of football on a turf field, and I had cleats on, and my leg just stuck in the grass, and I went to cut, and my knee just blew out.
It seems like the simplest things that end up doing it too.
Yeah. And I don't even I like watching football on TV, but I don't care about playing it. You know, so I was really pissed off, you know, that I could have possibly messed it all up. And it took a while. It took about 8 months after surgery where I finally started feeling comfortable and starting to lose a little bit of weight. That because I had just gotten in depression mode, so I gained so much weight when I tore my ACL. Because I tore my ACL in January, but I didn't have surgery until May. So I went like 4 or 5 months walking around on it. And on that whole time, I wasn't doing anything but being a couch potato because my knee was hurting. So it was really difficult time. But like I said, about 8 months after surgery, it all started turning around. We started getting in a little bit better shape. And then about 13 months after surgery, we were in class. So
wow.
Right.
It was just time to rock and roll at that point. You know, it was that goes to having Seth Rollins stand over you during burpees. It was either put up or shut up. We're here.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So
nice. So SCW, man, kind of picking up a little steam here lately. JT Energy's been the new champ there for a little while. Was you at the Bluegrass show last night?
Yeah,
was it Bluegrass, Iowa?
Yep, Bluegrass, Iowa. It's about 20 minutes down the road from Davenport. Me and MFG Partners in Rhyme had a match, 2-1 against Mason Beck. Nice. We had enough last night, and we dipped on out there with our titles. And if he's going to want to keep messing with us, he's going to have to find a tag partner or something, man. These 2-on-1s is going to be we got to figure this out, you know.
For sure. What do you think is your best match so far?
I've had 2 pretty good matches that are pretty stuck out to me so far. It was this last May. I guess last year May 1st, I had a really good match with Shane Hollister. We had a 15-minute match that really sticks out to me. And then the Shug. Last October, I had a tag match, me and MFG against Malik Champion and Shane Boucher. SCW, a couple of SCW workers, and they work, everywhere. But we had a nice match in Iowa City, Iowa, a tag match that really stuck out to me. It was like a trick or treat street fight. So we got to use some trick or treat Halloween type props for weapons and stuff. So that was really fun. We did this hay bale spot in the match that really sticks out to me. So really good time.
Nice. So, obviously you've seen the SCW. I've seen you down at Iron Spirit Pro. Any other promotions you're trying to work for, trying to get in, basically anywhere and everywhere? I did see you put out a heck of a highlight video not long ago.
Yeah, anywhere and everywhere, man. My DMs are always open. I try to go to AAW shows and try to pop in there, hopefully to get on a live show, to see what happens, or just anywhere. It doesn't even have to be a big show like that. It could be somewhere simple in Kansas. It could be somewhere simple in Illinois. It doesn't matter. I really like to get on Iron Spirit. I've been eyeing that. I've been going to the last couple shows there, and I would definitely like to get on there soon. But yeah, definitely my DMs are always open. So wherever I'll go, I'll travel. I'm willing.
Right, man. And what do you think? What do you think's the hardest part about being an indie wrestler? Is it getting bookings? Is it trying to, obviously, in the beginning you're trying to get your name and face out there, but is there anything that's kind of caught you off guard and kind of didn't really see coming as part of this world, I guess?
Well, my biggest thing, I think is the hardest thing I see is people staying consistent. If you want to, get bookings, or if you want to work a lot, you have to stay consistent with going places and trying to get booked. And you have to understand that if you don't, even if you show up 3 to 4 times, you might not get on the show. So, you just have to, just pick and choose and do what you got to do and hope for the best, so just staying in it, and making sure and just keep grinding it out and just knowing that, you'll get your chance, everybody gets their chances, you just got to just wait to get thrown a bone,
Yeah, for sure.
But besides the consistency, how much money are you saving on ring gear by using tank top and shorts?
Oh, dude!
And what's the decision behind that?
I saved so much. I need to get some new gear. To tell you the honest truth, man. I like it better when I got my actual entrances going on. When I got the jacket and the hats and the chains and. You get the belt and everything, and that looks all flashy. But we definitely need to get some new, fresh ring gear. But let me tell you, man, I've saved a pretty penny. A young wannabe rapper's trying to make it out of the dirty D. You know what I'm saying? So ain't nothing new. It ain't nothing new. So I'll figure it out, though, man. I'll get to the bag.
It works though. It works with that gimmick too.
Yeah, that's perfect, man. I have a good time, man. I just try to have as much fun as possible. That's another thing you got to know when you get into business. You just got to have to try to have fun.
Right. Yeah. Enjoy. You got to kind of embrace and enjoy the journey. So another thing I wanted to talk about too, man, is I was wanting to add, we talk about, showing up at different places and trying to get work. I feel like the business has changed because, in the old days, it was kind of like showing your face a lot more. Now, I think, with working with a couple promoters that I work with, they want to see the videos, you know what I mean? They want to see the video packages and, the highlight reels, like what you just put out on your social media a couple days ago was an awesome highlight reel, to it. So, those are big, man. Is that like an aspect too that, you kind of got to, be prepared for as to about, putting your name out there on social media, getting these highlight reels and videos to these promoters, and they want to watch them to try, helps get on the card. So it's kind of a whole different aspect now. Let me tell you something, Niko. My dad was in indie wrestler in the 80s. Yeah, no fucking way did he ever think he was going to have to worry about sending a video to a promoter. You know what I mean? So, yeah, right. So, but in the same sense, though, it's a brand new way of getting your style, your eyes, your gimmick, on to these promoters. So it kind of helps out to get booked. But yeah, let's talk about that though, man. You kind of got to stay on that kind of part of it. You know what I mean? Too, until you hit the big time and you're over, and then everybody follows you no matter what. But that's another thing, that I don't know that we talked about with a lot of guys that have came on here, and that's kind of staying on top of your social media. And I kind of wanted to bring that up just because you just put this awesome highlight reel about, that goes a long way in helping you and get your name out there. So, just kind of talk about what do you do on that end of it to stay up on socials and, and keep these awesome videos out there. Did you make that video yourself? Somebody make that for you?
Yeah. So I actually made that video myself. It took me
it
took me about a week, 2 weeks to make. I just threw it together. I knew I needed something out there because I just haven't put one out there. But yeah, highlight videos are definitely important so you can get your name across, on social media, because like you say, like me being in Iowa, the only way a promoter anywhere in any other state is really going to see me is going to be on social media, so it's good for them to see stuff like that. But you also got to make sure you're not getting stuck in just constantly posting stuff. Like, you got to make sure you are posting quality stuff. So you don't want to just be out there posting anything, So, but yeah, I do think it's very important, very, very, very important to, like I said, the whole getting promoted yourself on any social media. And the reason why I needed to make mine was I just haven't made one. And I'm just hoping as many eyes can get on it as possible so I can start getting booked anywhere and everywhere,
For sure. So are you embracing the miles as an indie wrestler? Are you enjoying the windshield time, so to speak? Who you riding with in the cars, man? Who do you want to who do you like riding with? Who do you want to shoot on that you hate riding with? Whatever, man. Lay it out there. You know what I mean?
That's great. I'm glad you brought this up. A lot of the trips, we're going to have Dustin Mosley, the Devil Dog, in the car.
Okay.
A lot of trips with him. We got Corn Boy, Kevin Gutierrez. He's going to be in the car.
So far.
He's going to be in there. My tag partner, MFG. He's going to be in the car a lot as well. It's really mainly those guys, anybody else random that might just randomly jump in if one of us aren't in the car. But that's like the last 3 weekends, I believe that's been the car. So, they're just a good group of guys. It's usually who I work out with down at the gym at Black and Brave. And we just all have a good time, just try to have as much fun as possible.
Yeah, man, dope, love it. So, is there a shoot job, Niko? You do anything? You hustle anything for a little cash other than wrestling? Wrestling ain't all the time. So, what else do you do, brother?
Yeah, so I work at a local pizza place here. I'm a delivery driver for them.
Okay.
So I make it pretty easy. I just go inside, grab my orders, get back in the car, deliver them, and repeat till my shift is over. It's a good little gig, relying on tips and stuff. So, I mean, I like it. And then on top of wrestling, and they're very flexible with my schedule. I usually only have to work 2 or 3 nights a week. So it's a good little spot. It's a place I've been working at for about 7 years now. Actually, March 1st was my 7-year mark there. I started off being a cook there for many years until I started wrestling. And then I just started being a driver because you make a little bit more money. So yeah, it's a good little gig.
Flexible.
Yeah. Way more flexible.
And you got be around pizza. I love pizza. So.
Yeah, I love pizza as well, man. Definitely top 3 my food.
Well, shit, dude. Between wrestling and delivering pizzas, dude, you getting a lot of fucking windshield time, man.
So that's funny you bring that up. Constantly, I'm thinking about how much I'm in the car, like, because usually I work about 4 to 5 hour shifts when I'm delivery driving. So usually I'm constantly in that car for that whole time. There might be a total not in the car. I'll be in the store for maybe 45 minutes of the whole night. So the whole other time I'm windshield. And then we hop in the next car, and now we're heading to Chicago for a show, So it's like, here we go.
Do you ever listen to any material while you're driving? Like to maybe give you ideas or concepts for promos or, future ideas?
Yeah, a lot of rap stuff. Just anything, just to hear words rhyme, certain words. Because you can twist those words to put them in like your own sentence, but they rhyme still. So that's one thing like I look at rap music for. Mainly really just that. Obviously I just listen to it just to be a fan. But if I ever like try to break it down, it's just hearing the words that rhyme and then putting them in different sentences so I know they still rhyme, but make it about me somehow.
Right.
But yeah.
Is there anybody that, or do you guys kind of like, do you guys like rotate driving? Is there somebody that always drives, or somebody that y'all never let drive?
Usually it's always Corn Boy. Usually it's Corn Boy driving.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, he's making sure he's getting in the shows. Yeah, he's up and ready to go, man. He's got his coffee. As long as he's got his
He's
coffee when
hyper
he
all the
first
time.
started, he's good.
Yeah. I can see him upholding the road laws as on his way from one town to the other. So I could see that being a good driver. So let's talk about it, man. A lot of people that know you and a lot of people that don't know you have probably seen your face on WWE lately. You've had a lot of what they call extra work. Now, if nobody knows what that is basically in a nutshell, a lot of times they need extra guys for security guards, guys to stand by for whatever reason, WWE for Raw, SmackDown, whatever. And a lot of times they'll take local talent from the local areas and use these guys on TV for certain, for whatever roles that they may need them for. And I think a lot of times, I'm assuming it's still this way, especially if WWE's anywhere close to Davenport. They look to some of their guys that are on the roster, and some of them have training schools and that kind of stuff. So they usually use like the local independent guys. So that brings us to Niko. You've had some spots on WWE lately, with some extra work. So explain how that happens, man, from beginning to end, kind of like, how do you get notified? Do you just show up and roll the dice? Do you kind of know that you're going to be doing something? Who contacts you? That kind of stuff. So I've always been kind of interested as to, this is kind of an area that I've, never experienced in person, but, but how does that work exactly with doing an extra work? I guess kind of, lead off by saying, what your roles ended up being at first.
So I got the do 2 WWE Raws last year in December, back-to-back weeks. On the first week, we were in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I got to be the doctor for Dominic Mysterio because he got sprayed with some mist by Asuka, so he needed some eye drops. And we had Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and Rhea Ripley in there along with Dominic, all freaking out because Dominic was in a world of hurt. But I go ahead and made sure he was okay. The next week, we were security for a segment in Des Moines for Raw for the Usos and Sami Zayn. And then I got to go out there again for the second time in the same night for a segment with Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens to be security guards again. It was a good little time, man. It was definitely a good little time. You just have to have the right eyes looking on you, and then you'll get notified through either Instagram or they'll DM you through email. Somehow they'll get your email, and you get invited to come on in. So it's a good little time. It's a really good learning lesson of being there all day and getting to watch behind the scenes of like what goes on and how the producers work and how everybody puts their matches together, and you get catering, which is cool. So you get to eat, nice, good food, and
food is good.
Valet parking and all that good stuff. But other than that, it's just a really good learning thing. You get to sit in a tux all day and hopefully you get used.
Yeah.
And I got lucky to be used the 2 times that I went. So it was a nice, fun time. Like I said, a big learning thing. And it was just cool, because ever since I was young, you always wonder, what does backstage look like? What does it look like in them arenas? So they get to hit that, when you're 23 years old, that's pretty cool. And it drives you too. Cause like now, like the end goal is to be signed one day, So like to get there, it just drives you a little bit harder.
Yeah, for sure. Did you who did you see backstage? Maybe like agents, guys running the show. Like who would come over and grab somebody and take them to like who would come over and grab you to take you to do something?
So Kenny Dykstra was the one that he came in to grab me for my segment in Des Moines, and then Shane Helms. The Hurricane is who grabbed me in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and was my producers for that. So yeah, very nice people, man. And for when I did the segments in Des Moines, we got to stand in Gorilla for probably about 3 minutes before we went out there. Live out into the arena. So we got to sit in there and watch everything that's going on in Gorilla. So you see all the producers that are in there, and it's crazy. Your heart's pounding and you're just looking around and it's like, wow, this is real. This is really happening.
Yeah. I bet it was surreal as shit, right? Like,
yeah. Well, it was really weird for me the first go around in Milwaukee when the hurricane came up to me and like asked me, he was like, you're one of the extras, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, would you like to be used tonight? And when he asked me, I was like, heck yeah, I want to be used, So, so it was just on from there, I was all smiles. So,
yeah,
it's cool, man. It was a cool moment for sure.
Yeah. What was the nerves like, man? Did you kind of shit in your pants for, when they come over to grab you, like, holy hell, they're actually going to use me?
Yeah, because at first, you see them walking over, and you're like, well, one of us is getting chosen, and
pick me.
Yeah, right. So you just hope for it, and it definitely anytime, especially when I was in Gorilla, because we were in Gorilla for a little bit of time. I want to say even more than 3 minutes. We were in there for like maybe 7-8 minutes, just standing there waiting for us. Like they just wanted, because at first there was like a group of like 8 or 9 of us security guards, and they just wanted us all right there ready, So
yeah.
And that was probably the biggest time my heart was racing, probably the most, because it's like, man, you're around all these big name people, like they're all right here,
Yeah.
But you just do your thing. It's another day. It's just like being in any independent locker room. You're just doing your thing, and you're just having a good time.
Like there, huh?
Yeah.
Was
just
there different?
I'm sorry.
Was there different prep? Because the one was backstage, being a doctor, and then the other time you had to come out.
Yeah. So actually, it's kind of crazy. That first week, they said, because that was a live segment that was shot live right there in the back, because they wanted to do it right after the match, because obviously he just got misted with the mist. But they said that we were going to practice it, and we ended up never practicing it. We just kind of shot it live and went with it. So it just kind of turned out being what it was, a funny little good segment. Yeah. So that was great. And then, but like I said, it was just backstage in one of the rooms. So the next week in Des Moines, we had to stand in Gorilla and then actually go out to the people, where you're actually out in front of all the fans. And that night it was strong, 12,000, 13,000 strong for sure in there.
Boy,
they're just being loud.
Pumping, boy.
Yeah, because this was right when like Sammy and the Usos were getting hot. Like this is mid-December, like just firing up. Like they were all about Sammy. Like, so we were out there for like 3 minutes, and then they went to commercial break while we were standing out there, and the crowd was just going crazy while Sammy and the Usos are in the ring. Man, it was nuts, man. It was definitely a fun time to experience for sure.
For sure. Did they give you any kind of feedback after, like, hey, you did good, maybe we'll use you again? Did anybody say anything either time after?
Yeah, no, yeah. So the producers, they shake your hands, tell you good job, and you just kind of go on your way, and you just hope for the best, You just hope, hopefully you get another email to come back soon. So,
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Have you tried any AEW? You tried to get on there at all?
That's kind of the same. You just wait for a certain person to DM you, and hopefully you get the email for them to invite you somewhere to come to a taping.
Right. Nice. Very cool, man. Yeah, those are always cool stories, man. And I bet it is pretty wild, man, because it's like, yeah, you're an independent wrestler, fighting to try to get on cards out here and get noticed, and in a swift little email or a call, and next thing you know, you're standing in Gorilla about to go out in front of 12,000 strong, and so that's got to be kind of fun. And yes, like you said, very, very motivating. So yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about that with you. And so when you're on these shows, man, do you like record them with your DVR and never erase them? Like, how does that work?
Yeah. So like, obviously it shows like over Peacock. So I have the Peacock app on my phone. Yeah. So like I can just record over it. So thank God for that. But yeah, dude, it's something I'll treasure that for all the moments, and more the moments hopefully to come. But the extra work, like I said, is very fun, and that's cool. But the main focus is to hopefully get a tryout one day, and get signed and actually be in like a storyline or something,
Yeah, And the more your face shows up there, the more they're going to, remember it. So, but that was awesome, man. Thanks for telling that story, man. So, so you follow, I mean, obviously you follow WWE, you were trained by Seth, but you watching AEW, you watching anything else, man? Anything other, watching the MLW, obviously you're watching the indies, but
right. Yeah. I stay on top of it with the indies, a lot of like the bigger name shows like Revolver, AAW. But yeah, I like watching almost everything, WWE, Raw, SmackDown, AEW. I watch a little bit of New Japan stuff. But other than that, it's just kind of hard to have time to watch stuff unless like I'm sitting down and actually studying something that like a situation I might be in for an upcoming match. Then I'll sit down and, watch footage and study and stuff. But yeah, but if it's like something that's going on live, it's obviously like the pay-per-views or Monday Night Raw or AEW, something like that.
Yeah, sure.
So other rap gimmicks like, for instance, Dr. Thugonomics, or even now we got Max Caster. So like, what do you think it makes, like, what do you do to make sure that you're a little different?
I just try to have so like it all started where we were supposed to be like these rappers where like we come out, we cut raps like before every match, but like that's what we were doing at first, and then out of nowhere we kind of just like stopped doing the rapping and kind of just turned into these goons that started beating up everybody. So like, but like in between we've like grabbed the mic and cut some little raps, so you could still say we're rappers, but at this point we're kind of just some goons that just have been kind of beating people up here in SCW. But like I said, we've ran into this Mason Beck wall at the moment, this wannabe Undertaker, and he's gonna need a partner, so stop being 2-on-1.
Yeah, right. So where are you going to be wrestling at in the future, man? What's the dates looking like for
we have
Niko coming up?
We have a couple of SCW dates coming up, actually. A whole bunch of them. There's a high voltage show going on in Illinois. I think it's Hinckley, Illinois. Yeah. I'm gonna probably be on.
Yeah, that's in June.
Yeah. So hopefully to get on there, and then hopefully Iron Spirit. I'm really gonna try to get an eye of trying to get on there as soon as possible. I'd really like to perform in front of that crowd. I really like that little Bloomington, Illinois area. Normal.
Yeah, man, we're
really
growing
nice little
too,
place.
man. I'm excited about it, man. We're feels like we're getting a little bit bigger. So, Niko, where can everybody find you on social media, man? You want to plug those while we're here?
Yes, sir. So my Instagram is going to be Niko.Kline. And then my Twitter is Niko_Kline. And yeah, that's my socials, man.
All right. So Niko, man, when I usually ask a lot of the independent wrestlers this question, I get the I know you guys want to wrestle everybody and to really own your craft, but who's on the indie scene right now, man, that you're looking at? Like, you can give me three, man. Give me a couple, on the indie scene that you really want to, test your skills with. And then also, give me, I'm assuming the dream match would be John Cena at this point, but, who's on TV right now that you really like to lock up with?
On TV, who I'd really like to lock up with, I'd probably keep it with anybody maybe in AEW, because that'd probably be my most realistic chance, closely to wrestle somebody. It'd really be cool to get in there with Darby Allin, just the way that he works, and he's just crazy as hell. Just do some stuff with him, that'd be cool. Jungle Boy as well. I feel like me and him could have like a fun match if that could ever happen. But if it was like a big name, somebody like a legend or something, I'm going to say like, wouldn't it be cool to wrestle like The Rock or maybe Stone Cold? Like, I don't know which one I could pick. That'd be cooler, just because like how they would have the crowd and to be out there experiencing that, how like they get to do it, and how they make the crowd feel.
Yeah.
That like those are the only two guys I think that could make it feel that certain way. So,
all right.
But yeah.
What about on the indie scene, man? Who's a couple you want to lock up with?
Steve Manders would be one that'd be super cool
yeah.
to wrestle. He's also a Black and Brave graduate, but he's just out here doing his thing, So
Yep. He wrestles for Dreamwave now for a little bit.
Yep. Somebody else I would like to wrestle. This would be something crazy, but I think we could have a funny, good match. Jake something, because just how big he is. Yeah, he's huge, but like I just think my character could have fun with that. You know what I mean? Just because how big he is, I can bulk up to him.
Sure.
But
you pitch out to Danny, man, like some kind of heavyweight squash, man. You can jump in there.
Yeah, that would be awesome, man. And then my last person that I haven't got to wrestle yet that I would probably want to wrestle is Josh C, which is also a Black and Brave graduate, but he's out here doing his thing as well. So
front man, man.
Yeah, it'd be cool if I could get in there with him as well.
Yeah, good stuff, man. I haven't seen him in a while. Also, all right, Niko, man, it was great to get to talk to you today, brother, and finally get to kind of learn a little bit about you. Thank you for your time and your stories, and keep grinding, man. Keep showing that face at Iron Spirit Pro, sending those videos to Logan and all these other promoters, man, and keep at it, man. I've been kind of starting to keep up with what's going on with you, and I didn't know you were going to be in Hinckley, man. So I'm excited. That might be the first time I'm going to get to see you live. So that'd be nice to see you on that card, man. But thank you for hanging out with us today, man. Is anybody you want to shoot on? Anybody you want to say fuck off to before we go?
No, I'll keep it. I'll keep it all good, man. Keep it all cleaned up, man.
I like throwing that there sometimes just to see what people will say. They usually shoot after we go off, but yeah, good stuff, man. Good to talk to you today, Primo and AJ, and I appreciate you hanging out with us, Niko, and we'll see you on the indie circuit, brother.
Perfect. Thank you, man.
All right. Take care.